The countdown to UFC 320 has the MMA world split right down the middle. On one side are those who believe in Gane's crisp, technical striking and movement, the kind of precision that once made him one of the most elusive heavyweights in UFC history. On the other side stand those who think Tom Aspinall is simply a level above everyone else in the division. A fighter who moves like a middleweight, hits like a truck, and carries the kind of composure that makes him look untouchable under pressure. This isn't just a fight for the belt. It's a fight that could define the next era of heavyweight MMA. Gane's recent performance against Alexander Volkov left fans divided. While he secured the win, it wasn't the dominant showcase many expected. Volkov pressed him, forced exchanges, and made the bout messy, a far cry from the surgical, evasive Gane that once danced circles around Derek Lewis and Tai Tuivasa. Some even argued that Volkov did enough to steal the decision. That fight raised uncomfortable questions. Had Gane plateaued? Or was he quietly evolving, preparing for the toughest test of his career in Tom Aspinall? Aspinall, on the other hand, has been nothing short of sensational. His rise through the heavyweight ranks has been fast and devastating. Every opponent who's tried to stand in front of him has been broken down with frightening precision. His balance, his composure, his effortless transitions between striking and grappling, they make him look like an entirely different breed of heavyweight. Former bantamweight champion Dominic Cruz summed it up best when he joined John and Nick's podcast this week. Cruz praised Aspinall's intelligence and patience, calling him a complete fighter in every sense of the word. According to Cruz, there's only one man alive who could possibly solve the Aspinall puzzle, and that man is Jon Jones. When asked who he'd pick to beat Tom Aspinall to save the dojo's life, Cruz didn't hesitate. "Only Jon Jones," he said flatly. "There's nobody else that can threaten him, and there's nobody else that can threaten Jon Jones. That's why Jon didn't fight him." It was a brutal but honest assessment. Cruz went even further, saying if Jones did decide to step in and beat Aspinall, it would only solidify his status as the greatest fighter in history. But he made it clear, he doesn't think that would happen. "I think Aspinall would get him," Cruz continued. "The size, the natural heavyweight frame, that would be the first time Jon's ever really felt that." It's a sentiment many fans share. Aspinall's size and speed combination is something the heavyweight division has rarely seen. He's big enough to dominate in the clinch, yet agile enough to slip punches and reset like a welterweight. Every punch comes from perfect balance, every feint hides a trap, and every takedown attempt feels like a calculated ambush. For Gane, the challenge is monumental. His striking is world-class, but his wrestling defense, or lack of it, has been his Achilles heel. If Aspinall can drag him to the mat early, the fight could end before Gane has a chance to find his rhythm. But the build-up to UFC 320 hasn't just been about the title fight. Another storyline has kept the MMA community buzzing: the continued fallout from Renier de Ridder's loss to Brendan Allen. After quitting on the stool, de Ridder faced heavy criticism for what many called an uncharacteristic display of weakness. Fans were stunned. This was a man known for his toughness and championship mindset. Yet instead of fighting through the fatigue, he bowed out. Things got even messier when de Ridder later took to Twitter to claim he had been battling a virus and injuries throughout fight week. At first, the MMA community gave him some grace. After all, he didn't look like himself in the cage. But that sympathy evaporated almost overnight after UFC commentator Paul Felder exposed him on Michael Bisping's podcast. According to Felder, during pre-fight meetings, where fighters talk with the commentary team about their camps and physical shape, de Ridder looked perfectly fine. No signs of illness, no mention of injury. "He was completely fine," Felder said bluntly. "If he was sick, I'd be upset he was shaking my hand. His wife was with him. He was fine." Felder's statement flipped the narrative. Instead of a fighter overcoming adversity, de Ridder became the target of ridicule, accused of making excuses to protect his image. Even Felder, while sympathetic, ended his comments with a sharp jab. "You get tired, you're fucked. Simple as that. Do more cardio." It was a harsh but fair reminder that no matter how skilled a fighter is, exhaustion is the great equalizer in MMA. Meanwhile, Dana White found himself dealing with yet another storm, this time involving middleweight champion Khamzat Chimaev and former bantamweight King Petr Yan. The altercation between the two erupted after Yan made comments suggesting Chimaev wasn't a real Russian, which instantly sparked outrage. Chimaev fired back with a low blow of his own, mocking Yan's last name as Chinese-sounding. According to Yan's manager, the two had a heated exchange in person that crossed the line. Though both camps later downplayed the confrontation, it was clear that tempers had flared beyond trash talk. Dana White addressed the incident with visible frustration. "You never know what to expect from that guy," he said, referring to Chimaev. "It happened. We're in the fight business, right? These things happen." His tone said it all. The UFC president has seen countless scuffles between fighters, but when it involves two champions in the middle of their title runs, it becomes a PR nightmare. Despite the chaos, Yan remains focused on his upcoming rematch with Merab Dvalishvili, a fight few fans asked for, but one that could define both men's legacies. Merab has crushed every top bantamweight available, leaving Yan as the last meaningful challenge before moving on to greater things. And through it all, Tom Aspinall has remained composed and laser-focused on his task. But the pressure on him is immense. Brendan Schaub made it clear on his show that if Aspinall truly wants to silence critics and claim his place as the undisputed best, he has to do what John Jones did, and do it even faster. "He's got to finish Gane in under 2 minutes, Schaub said. "That's the only way he shuts everyone up. Jones did it in 2 minutes. If Tom's the guy everyone says he is, he has to do it faster. It's an impossible standard. But that's what comes with greatness." For his part, Aspinall hasn't shied away from the challenge. He's shown respect for Gane's skill set, but exudes quiet confidence. "I never think too far ahead," he told reporters. "Maybe one day I'll try boxing if I clean out the division, but right now I'm focused on this fight. I respect Cyril. He's dangerous everywhere. But I believe I'll get it done." And that's the kind of mentality that makes this matchup so fascinating. Gane fights with style and finesse, while Aspinall fights with purpose and precision. Both men understand that one mistake could end their night. One wrong slip, one misjudged feint, and it's over. For Gane, it's a chance to finally silence the critics who say he can't win when it matters most. For Aspinall, it's about proving that his reign is no accident, that he's not just the next big thing, but the real thing. So here we are, 4 days away from the clash that could change the heavyweight landscape forever. The stakes couldn't be higher. A win for Aspinall solidifies his legacy. A win for Gane resurrects his career. But as always, only one man walks out with gold around his waist. What about you, fight fans? Who do you think takes it? The slick French technician or the unstoppable British powerhouse? Will Tom Aspinall continue his reign of dominance, or will Cyril Gane finally rise to the occasion and claim his moment? Drop your predictions below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for daily MMA news and breakdowns. The countdown is on, and soon we'll find out who truly rules the heavyweight throne.